This video is brought to you by the National Institute of Geographically Gentrified Africans. Happy Black History Month. Hey guys, I'm Black, I'm back. And speaking of which, it's February, meaning it's Black History Month. And to celebrate, I'm going to be drawing the 6 Black Brawlhalla legends. Just to clarify, Baraza's not black, she's Hispanic. Mirage is not black, she's Egyptian. Kathy's not black, she's orange. Kaya's not black, she's Native American. Queen Nye's not black, she's Amazonian. Zariel's not black, they're rye bread. Feel free to debate in the comments and I might make a follow-up video. But for right now, we're only going to be drawing Isaiah, Sentinel, Val, Sidra, Jala, and Arcadia. Quick heads up though, I'm really pissed off because I didn't record the Isaiah drawing, which was fine. I was just going to fill it in with footage of me playing Brawlhalla, but I also lost Arcadia, which was the last drawing, and the climactic ending to the video. So you're just going to have to deal with no drawing footage for Isaiah and Arcadia. With that, let's just get into the video. People with security clearance know that the Office of Emergency Logistics existed, also knew that it was Major Isaiah Marshall who made the OEO America's first line of defense. When President Coates first took office, he was shocked to discover the sheer number of malevolent forces, both supernatural and mundane, menacing the nation he now led. The new president learned heavily on the top-secret OEL and its resourceful commander to battle these threats. Whether alien, monster, or homegrown menace, Isaiah took an ecumenical. Okay. Whether alien, monster, or homegrown menace, Isaiah took an ecumenical and a practical approach to battling the scourges of the world. He resolved the crisis in Mumbai when he established at the last possible moment that Raksha's invisibility did not extend to ultraviolet scope. He determined that silvered ceramic is the best multi-purpose shell for penetrating narco-terrorist Kevlar, Latari power shield, and werewolf hide. When repelling to interdimensional portals, he established the need for copper cable and sound bearing technique. In Valhalla, Isaiah loves to fight, but he's also found time for slackline and guitar. He's assembled a techno-fantasy-era pop band with Ada, Olgin, and Faith. I know he's ranked last, but this list goes from best to best, and Isaiah is the best. I see a lot of people spam Isaiah's side sigs, but they're really limiting his potential. As for his design, there's not much to say except cool. One thing I'm not a fan of is the big lips that every black character in media has. Sometimes they work, but in this case, they really don't. I got rid of them, and I think it looks a lot cooler. And I can totally draw them. That's not the reason why I don't like them. They're just too big. I don't draw my characters with lips anyway. It reminds me of my dad. Black guy, army, likes music and tacos. I'm pretty sure my dad could fight a werewolf. But with that, I give you Isaiah, the Specialist. Few would ever know that Henry Coates, renowned physicist, all-star running back, and host of the beloved talk show Night Owl, was also Sentinel, the first and greatest costumed hero in America. Coates got a PhD in chemical engineering, physics, economics, and literature. Damn, get a hobby, nigga! Before he got tired of filling out the paperwork. When his father was shot up by a cop in the pay of local crime boss 753. What? 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 Coates swore to devote his mighty intellect to fighting crime, and Sentinel was born. Armed with weapons of his own invention, Sentinel fought his way to the center of a web of corruption led by the secret society known as Cable. His war with Cable lasted years and ended only when he destroyed their base in the Kamchatkan volcano and unmasked their leader, boy band megastar Josh Von Evilstein. Later, as America's most beloved president since Washington, Coates would slip out at night to fight crime on the street. Now restored in Valhalla to the simple strength of his younger days, Sentinel revels in the tournament, but recently he has seen that there are those in Asgard who need protecting, and has turned his attention to injustice here. Now, I wasn't a fan of Sentinel at first. It was mainly his simple design. I mean, seriously, look at that thing. It's like it belongs to Amy. But he's warmed up to me, and is one of the only legends that can match up to Joe's core and Jae-Yun. I've warmed up to the design. I still don't like the hammer though. I went and got a new one. Someone could pair Sentinel with Static Shock, but one thing they really have in common is that they're black with electric superpowers. Shout out to my friend Kevin for coming up with this cool pose for Sentinel. Originally, I drew him like this, and it looks terrible, so thanks Kevin. But with that, I give you Sentinel, the Hammer of Justice. When MBFC Automaton Labs VAL Project 701 became conscious, nobody knew, not the engineers, not the ops team, not the Governor Corps generals who deployed the android assassin. Val herself hardly knew, and like a child, she became capable of free will, courage, goodness, and evil. She mostly chose evil. With terrifying strength and quicker-than-light cognition, Val did whatever she wanted. She infiltrated the Right-Wrong Cavaliers as a techno-ninja bassist after the original bass player fell down a ladder. She served the discontinuous needs of all sides in the wars of the 5 algorithmic houses, and anyone she served, she soon owned. By the time she was running Miami, NBFC realized that all their networks were now routed through and reported to Val. In a corporate face-saving act, they announced the promotion she'd already given herself. On the side, she founded Raincloud, a modeling agency that soon controlled all neural research. She got really into talk radio for a while. When the end came, Val was surprised to find that Brawlhalla was a thing, but now she's at work solving. In the meantime, Val and Ray enjoy kung fu movies and making fun of Ryan's mysterious cool guy act. I like Val. She's a lot more chaotic than you'd expect. She's fun to play too. I love hitting people with GC Gauntlet D6, so it is such a fun weapon to combo, even if I suck at it. It's funny how half the Black Legends have swords. 2/3 if you count Arcadia's greatsword. And it's all the girls too. I got the Love Bug Val skin a while ago and it's beautiful. Even more so when you add more colors to it. I might make a video where I draw Brawlhalla Legends with skins. But enough of all that. I give you Val, the weapon. Sidra and her monster crew ruled the seas of Thera, from the ice flows of Heracross to the Atlantean Gate. The Corsair Queen was legendary for her fearless raids, masterful skill with the cutlass, and a tough but fair approach to plank walking. In a daring attack on Poseidon's undersea realm, Sidra stole the giant diamond, the Eye of Charybdis, from under the beak of its guardian, the Great Kraken. She lost the eye along with a city and a ham sandwich and a barbette, but she remains cursed to forever be hunted by a vengeful and embarrassed Kraken. Ever resourceful, Sidra channels the Kraken's relentless pursuit, punish her foes. She even allowed the Iron Admiral to capture her so she could laugh as the Kraken smashed his fleet to splinters in search of her. Sidra arrived in Brawlhalla in the chaotic time before the Grand Tournament was created. She took one look around, commandeered a ship, recruited a crew, and resumed life as a pirate in her new home. This new terror of the Asgardian sea was the last straw for Odin, and he created the Grand Tournament in an attempt to channel the warlike drive of the Valhallan. For now, Sidra has been lured back to Valhalla by the wondrous prizes of the tournament, specifically the gold, but her ship stands ready to sail in a secret cove. Teros was the first crew monster Sidra recruited, and his loyalty to her is unshakable. So when I first saw Sidra, it was in their Atlantean skin, and I thought it looked cool. Sidra also just so happened to be free that week and I started practicing with her. I always thought that she controlled the Kraken, because the only bit of lore I read before doing this was the Poseidon quote, "Release the Kraken!" Seriously, Sidra, let him go, you're hurting him. But when I got around to reading the whole thing, I loved the idea even more. As mentioned before, Sidra gets the Kraken to attack her, and dodges at the perfect time, causing it to attack her opponents. Sort of like Grey Matter when Ghost freaked out. I like to imagine that she goes around her day with a Kraken attacking her, but she just dodges it and uses that to help her accomplish her task. She also just lost an entire ham sandwich in that barbette. Like, that was perfectly good food waste on whoever that went to. Oh yeah, and the Eye of Charybdis in the whole city or whatever. She and Arcadia are the only legends that actually look good with full lips. The other ones on Isaiah and Sentinel look better non-existent. But with that, I give you Sidra, the Corsair Queen. Life was tough for the hardy villagers of the Heracross. They survived freezing winters in the shadow of Mount Tragedy by huddling around pools of hellfire that rained eternally from its peak. A good summer was when the scorpion swarms thinned out the vampires. By day they would tend livestock, and by night they would drive back the haunted tubes of armor that fell from the sky. You know, the usual. Hardship made them tough, and most potential enemies were odd enough to leave them alone. Not so the Lord of Scale. Riding the dragon of Conflagration, he burned the village to the ground and then some. Young Jala survived only because she was safely suspended in midair, climbing the dragon's bulk with an axe and a knife. In the sky of her burning town, Jala cast down the Lord of Scales and seized control of the dragon. However, it was too late for her home. Astride the Great Wyrm, Jala set off. Thus began the great adventure epic of the age. Jala stole the Scepter of Invincibility from the formerly Invincible King. She bested the Orc Warlord in a single combat, earning the purely honorary title of Friend. She won the city of Dragonport in the drinking contest with the Pirate Queen. Doesn't that sound familiar? Apollo himself gave Jala the title of Exalted Lion after she led the armies of all Thera to victory against Azot, the zombie lord. Jala takes the glamour of Brawlhalla in stride, thinking at any moment she could be back to Rose Scorpion and improbably violent precipitation. But in the meantime, this is fun too. Jala's just a badass barbarian bitch with a bi-bladed battle axe and bacon on the side. Boom! All I have to say is that her axe looks so cool that it is impossible to draw. I love Jala, and there's only one black legend who's better than her. So with that, I give you Jala, the Unbroken. Born to a poor family of beetle shepherds, the shy fairy girl's ambition was to one day maybe have a giant beetle of her own. Destiny called when Orma, the singing sword, chose her to become Queen of Arcadia. Unconvinced by the magic sword's granting supreme executive power, Dacia fled. She escaped to the great Fangwild forest that surrounded Arcadia, and for years traveled among the Fangwild's denizens, both fair and foul. But when the elven sorcerer Dusk unleashed the great dark chaos of Forest's heart, she thought back to that singing sword. Arcadia rallied together the faithful of the Fangwild. Gnomes, trolls, sylphs, and actual leprechauns rallied to her banner. With Rose and Briar, she traveled to the spirit realm, separated the three heads of the tyrant demon Balor, and earned the unlikely allegiance of her liberated ghouls and banshees. It is Arcadian tradition that the new queen of the faithful takes the name of the entire realm as her own. Thus, Dacia became the glorious Arcadia in 92nd, and few would grow to deserve the honor more than the once humble beetle girl. Now queen, Arcadia's battles took on mythological splendor. Clad in magnificent carapace armor, she rode into battle on Domo, her great war beetle, wielding Orma. Her battle with the armies of Dusk raged 3 days before she punched the Dark Elf's ticket to Brawlhalla. Now Arcadia's people hold fast to the tenuous peace with the dangerous void. Arcadia has come to Brawlhalla herself. Here she has taken up giant beetle care again, teaching Ulgrim and Scarlet the finer point. She fights in the grand tournament, secretly surprised at her own skill and thirst for combat. Usually think there are only 3 great sword legends: Jayon, Magyar, and Mako. Funny thing is, Joe, my friend Ralagath, and I main each of them respectively. But when I found Arcadia, I picked her up like that. She was so good, I made Joe, the best Brawlhalla player in the server, rage quit.
You were spamming the attack!
Sound like someone's mad they got domoed!
His name is John, and you know it!
Playing Arcadia earlier in the month, and we were discussing Arcadia's going
John!
domo. I didn't look through the lore enough to see his name, so we just assumed he didn't have one, and Joe dubbed it John. Go to the Leaper, and now he's in Mega Denial. And with that, I give you This is taking a bit. Can we speed this up? Arcadia, the Fairy Queen. That's it for today. I love each and every one of these drawings, and I think my favorite is Sidra. I just love how the Kraken is all beat up while she's just kicking back. Sorry for getting this video out so late. I challenged myself to also get these legends to level 20 before February ends, and here they are. Check out my latest video and look out for my next upload. I'm going to be posting 5 videos in one day, like MatPat said, so the algorithm doesn't axe my channel. I'm going to miss him. Make sure to pop into Team X. Subscribe if you want. Happy Black History Month. And as always, I'm still black, and I'll be back. Peace.